Hello, welcome to the world of civil services. I am R.C. Sinha, founder of New Delhi IAS, and we are a team with Analog IAS Hyderabad led by Mr. Vinnakota Srikanth, IAS Forum Bangalore led by Mr. Sinha. We together are trying our level best to generate national awareness apart from preparing candidates for civil services to the quality required by UPSC. In the last episode, I was addressing about the issue that is prescribed in paper 3 of General Studies, that is linkage between development and extremism, in which I highlighted that generally we think that there should have been linkage between underdevelopment and rise of extremism, because extremism is based on underdevelopment, not development. But this is eye-opener for all of us, that UPSC has asked you the link between development and extremism, that is to explain that development is, it does not mean development should be a stop to stop extremism. It does mean that development, whenever it takes place, it has to be very meticulously planned to ensure all-round development, or else it will give rise to extremism like terrorism, Naxalism, Maoism, casteism, communalism, regionalism, separatism, minus nationalism. So in that episode, I addressed about in detail what went wrong in India, and in nutshell I would say that it was failure of land reform, failure of proper distribution of land resources, which generated apart from underdevelopment, of course, related to Naxalism in India, terrorism related to Jammu Kashmir, insurgency in Northeast related to refugee problem, and of course underdevelopment, casteism because of vote bank politics on caste-based reservation and caste-based voting, communalism again because of vote bank politics. On one hand, our ideal of constitution say we are secular, on the other hand society becomes communal. So likewise regionalism, I explained you that it was because one state formed Andhra on the basis of culture and language, that generated culture and language criteria, and ultimately Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand also made on same criteria, which has further generated demand for separate states, smaller states in all across the country. One thing before going further, I would like to clarify that all these types of extremism, on one hand are related to underdevelopment, poverty, illiteracy, unemployment, fine. But on the other hand, it is also related to all the security threats. These are security threats. All the security threats are emerging because of the one hardcore fact that in India, we are emerging as softer state in some of our judicial system, where we are not able to generate fear of law or respect for law. Unless there is fear of law, there won't be respect for law. That is related to security system of India, and that is related to criminal justice system in India, legal justice system. How does justice system operate? In terms of security threats, I would like to make out certain steps to make you understand very properly what are the steps. First step in criminal justice system is reporting of crime. Reporting takes place by two means, by media and by the victim. If you think of rural India, neither media is active nor victims are that much aware and rightful. They hardly report, which reflects a kind of image that crime and violence are more in urban India and very less in rural India. As one gentleman from RSS said, that all these crimes are taking place in India, not in Bharat. But that great man has to realize that it is not the crime is not taking place, it's basically the failure of reporting. So first comes reporting. What is the solution line to strengthen the reporting system? For example, in Delhi you see this has emerging as the unsafe place for women. This is not true. This is not true. The truth is that the density of Delhi is more than 12,000 people per square kilometer. Naturally, in that sense, when the population density would be the highest ever, naturally the crime density shall also be high. At the same time, reporting rate has become very high, very high. Media is very active, and reporting rate has become high because of so many channels, satellite television, and competing against each other who is reporting what. This has made Delhi a kind of a stigma has developed that Delhi is becoming unsafe for women. It's not like that. It's a very good thing that reporting is going high, and because of that, the following measures are also being taken on war footing. Yes, on war footing, but miracle cannot be expected overnight. So the reporting system in criminal justice system is the first step. Second step is registration of cases. You see, it is common tendency especially in police, that if they want to, because they are under pressure to control crime, instead of controlling crime, they start controlling registration, because all these things are related to figures, and every thana is projected along with source of figures, the rate of crime. So registration is getting low because of this reason. At the same time, I tell you the practical problem what crops up, that police, if takes a person into custody, has to produce that person before magistrate within 24 hours with prima facie charges. It is very difficult for police to prepare that prima facie charge immediately produced before magistrate. As a result, what happens? Number of people are taken into police custody, and this 24 hours starts after registration of in diary. So naturally, they delay registration to buy time to make prima facie charges. And meanwhile, the person is at the stake, at the mercy of police. If suppose third degree torture starts or interrogation starts and the person dies, it is custodial death, and the custodial death is off record, it is not in custody even. Second thing is a fake encounter takes place because of that reason when the case is not registered. And we cannot simply get rid of all these problems by blaming police. We have to realize that in India, 761 people is guarded by one security personnel. Can you imagine? One security personnel can guard 761 people, and one VIP is guarded by 3 security personnel. Naturally, when VIP would be over secured, society would be very insecure. This is very simple to understand. So what to do? We are not sitting here, we are not understanding the syllabus or the courses of study just for sake of career making. We are trying to understand the core of problem. So first thing is reporting, as I explained. Second thing is registration. And in registration, why is it not registered? That I explained you. The better solution is, first you have to amend CRPC, IPC, Indian Evidence Act, so that it gives some more time, or else to register the cases and prima facie charge and produce before magistrate. This is one solution. Second solution is, as Soli Swarajji Committee has said, that every police station must have 2-3 years, at least. You see, it is very practical if they are having 3 officers, 8 hours per officer, because even in emergency services like medical services, the doctor's duty is extending up to 8 hours. The police is the only emergency service in which you are expecting a police officer, those who are heading police station, they are the real executive officer, that they would be doing round the clock duty. And still you expect them fresh. How? It is superhuman work. How can it be? Because of that, majority of police officers under stress, under desperation, under frustration, they are suffering from lots of elements. At the same time, they are under pressure to take every under trial to court, getting back, if hearing not, of hearing. So many security required, and so many cases under trials are getting out of the control of police, escaping from the police custody, then police is once again blamed. So we need a remarkable change in the police system, in which every thana be led by 3 officers. It will be sharing of workload. And second is that police be classified into law police and order police. The order police will be taking charge of field administration, and after taking the person into custody, it will be duty of the law police to make prima facie charge in producing before magistrate, producing before court. All these should be the function of ordinary law police. This is very much needed, very much needed. But when the question is, when it is so easy to do, why is it so difficult to put into action? It is because of the fact that police and public order are subject of state list. Here comes the federal problem. Because if this is subject of a state list, you will find very few state governments are coming forward to carry out police reform sincerely. Because police is under political pressure, police is under political influences, police master is misused by, with due respect I would say, political structure. They are not so keen to reform police, and this is the reason every time you find that in simple public disorder, central forces are deployed, and then a state say that public order is subject of state list and central government is encroaching. All these problems are revolving around one basic thing, that is, everybody is trying to project party interest, political interest, individual interest by sidelining national interest. This is the basic problem. That has to be, and enough situation cropping up. They are compelled to think of national interest instead of thinking of such narrow interest. They are compelled to, they have to. See, and it happens, I'm not talking in rebel sense, it happens. See, the poverty-stricken people of India in 1942, illiterate people, put their head together, got up together and quit India. British-like power was thrown out of India by power of people. So we should not test people, we should not test patience of people. We should not wait for enough is enough situation. We should start reforming the system. So this is second state registration. Third state is investigation. You see, investigation, as soon as you think of investigation, you have one premier agency, CBI. That too losing quality and credibility. Did you ever try to understand why are they losing? It is because of the fact they are overburdened. The court is not able to deliver the judgment within time frame, but court is asking CBI to investigate within time frame. And so many cases being referred to CBI. This is one reason, that they are overburdened and losing the quality. Second reason is that they have to seek permission to prosecute any person from any state government. While seeking permission, naturally, if it is permission is held up for some time, the evidences are tampered, and then CBI is breaking their head to find out the evidences, not able to complete the case, and they are compelled to close the case. This is affecting. So it is high time that CBI on one hand be given autonomy, NIA doing their job. We must come forward with NCTC, National Counter-Terrorist Center, by taking all the states into confidence. They have to come into confidence as of all of them are facing security threats. And then comes investigating agency in the sense like National Human Rights Commission, National Commission for Women, National Child Rights Commission, all these Minority Commission, SC Commission, ST Commission, so many commission formed without having investigating agency. And it is not possible that every commission be given some sort of an investigating agency. There is no that much of revenue with the government. So the solution lies in the fact that one high-tech agency, investigating agency be formed, very high-tech, and that agency would be taking cases from all these commission, investigating the cases and reporting back to them. This will solve the problem of investigation. Otherwise, or else a state investigating agency be torn up, modernized, because no area of administration today is non-technical. It has to be technical, high-tech. Then comes prosecution, registration, reporting, registration, investigation, then comes prosecution. Prosecution of cases are so weak in India. What went wrong? Prosecutors are underpaid, overburdened. On the other hand, the defense lawyer is having exorbitant charges. They are out of service tax. They have never come under net of service tax, in spite of minting crores of lakhs of rupees per month. What happens? That prosecutors who is working on behalf of the government is, if forget few high profile cases. In majority of cases, they are not so interested in prosecution because of the fact they don't have that much of resources, that much of you can say fund to generate evidences and put the case very properly. On the other hand, if investigating agencies putting case before them, report before them, these prosecutors have been found, with due respect, there are some exceptions, but majority of them are found they are having hand in glove with the defense lawyers. And as a result, what happens? The defense lawyers, once they come to know that this case is very poor, the person would be convicted, no chance of acquittal, then instead of pleading before the court, they start pursuing the prosecutor by this way or that way, you do better know. And as a result, what happens? The prosecutor keeps quiet, not presenting the case very properly. Prosecution is so weak that ultimately it affects conviction. I repeat, when prosecution is weak, on one hand it demoralizes an investigating agency, on the other hand it badly affects conviction. Supreme Court of India very recently herself admitted that in 90% rape cases conviction have not been made. And Supreme Court knows 90% cases out, conviction could not be made. Why so? Weaker prosecution. We have to amend CRPC, IPC, we have to amend Indian Evidence Act. And casually, time and again changing opinion, it is not. For example, 3 days back, the Supreme Court or the Court Judiciary of India has said, if any juvenile is committing a serious crime like murder and rape, they would be treated as adults. The question is, how can they be treated as adults? It needs complete Juvenile Crime Act to be amended. It is not possible, case to case prosecution. And conviction is so low. As a result, what happens? Do you understand? 4.7%. Just it's a heartbreaking figure. Hardly 5% under trials and inside jail remaining are bailed out. And then jails are overcrowded. What will happen if all got back? Judiciary is compelled to give them bail. There is no space. And this has become really terrifying situation it is. Conviction, when conviction is low. When conviction is low, it is also low because of one important reason, that is natural justice system. Natural justice says equality of opportunity before law, and it says that hearing other party before giving final verdict. Fine. But the question is, how long hear other party? The time frame is not prescribed. As a result, hearing after hearing after hearing after hearing, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, cases are going on. Fast track court delivering decision, Tada court delivered decision at a lapse of 13 to 14 years. Is it fast track court? And fast track court cannot be formed just by judiciary. Parliament has to amend the whole thing. So conviction is a serious issue, and because of that, it is not able to generate respect and fear of law, and it has to be amended by Parliament, and Parliament will amend provided Parliament get rid of those convicts who are sitting on the floor. And this is very right step by Supreme Court of India, that People Representation Act, they are asking for that, yes, the person who is convicted by a court for more than 2 years in criminal cases should be debarred from election. They should not, and this judgment will be enforced the day of judgment itself. That means it will be definitely affecting 2014 election, and we are very much hopeful that when Parliament is reformed, executive would be reformed, government structure will be reformed, administrative structure would be reformed, police would be reformed, then only there is sense of economic reform, education reform and all reform. So reform cannot be carried out in isolation. It has to be carried out in chain reaction. Fine. So this is conviction. And finally, I would like to point out regarding mercy petition. Mercy petition is mercy petition, it's not writ petition. Writ petition is based on legal argument. Mercy petition is based on some moral argument, sense of humanity, humanly consideration, where what is happening? Majority of mercy petitions are being politicized. Why is it so? It has to be defined. First thing is that when the president is getting mercy petition, accepting mercy petition, president is referring the matter to the Union Home Ministry. Union Home Minister saying that I won't be granting any sort of pardon in rape cases or that or this cases. This is not the question. The question is that does it mean that on the judgment of Supreme Court of India, that is judiciary, executive is going to take final decision? Then what is the meaning of judicial supremacy? And if there is no supremacy of judiciary, how can judiciary would be able to maintain supremacy of constitution? And if there is no supremacy of constitution, how the people of India, we the people of India are source of power? All these young people of India, you are the next generation, and we are trying our level best to hand over baton to you so that you make India stronger, because there is no question of shortfall of potential in India, shortfall of talents in India. We are totally mismanaged country. We are not at all a poor country. We need management of resources, human resources, natural resources, material resources, procedural reform, procedure be simplified. These all things, and these all depends on, I tell you, this all depends on a strong political will. Or else, if there is ad hocism continues in policies. See, one burning example of ad hocism in policy is, sometime you are drifting from Iran while importing oil, Saudi Arab, Iraq under US pressure. When you find it very difficult to pay because of increasing current account deficit, you get back to Iran. You decide once. This is not the way. This is the reason every country is getting impression that India is not clear about the decision making. If government start taking decision, tribunal taking decision, environment ministry taking decision, and then asking, then Supreme Court taking decision, and then Supreme Court asking Gram Sabha to take decision on POSCO and Vedanta, like, if so many people start taking decision, even a family cannot be run, forget about the nation. So it is high time we should not only prepare these issues, it is very urgently needed that we should understand, we should show our concern, and we must come out of solution line, because if there is problem, there is solution. This is hardcore. We have to realize before it is too late. Okay? So in next issue, this will continue. And in next issue, the topics like on security of border management, non-government operators, government operators, intelligence agencies, how are they operating? Why is it so that security personals so hardcore trained are sustaining so much of casualty by Naxalites? Are they more trained? But is their intelligence system better? No. Our system is better. Then what is wrong with the system? That I'd be addressing in terms of complete security, national security, border security, internal security, coastal security, apart from then security agencies and security of common man and day-to-day law and order. What should be the design? All these are part of, needless to say, paper 3, and these would be the area where you'll be evaluated very thoroughly, because these are the real area of administration where you have to write with concern. May I clarify what I mean by concern? It is like homemade food that is made with concern. It tastes very different. And continental food, 5-star hotel, that is not made with concern, that is made with the sense of commerce. That cannot taste the way homemade food tastes. This is concern. Thank you. So show your concern and understanding, not for sake of job, for sake of nation as well. Okay? We are hoping for the best generation in future. Thank you.